This is Hannibal from the HannibalTV.com, February the 10th, with my XFL news updates. The attendance is in from all the games of the first weekend of the XFL, and the ratings are in for 3 of the games. So the Houston Roughnecks beat the LA Wildcats 37-18. On television, that had 2.77 million viewers, and in attendance, there were 17,815 fans. On Saturday on Fox, the DC Defenders beat Seattle 31-19 in front of 17,163 fans, and that was the very first XFL game, and it had the highest viewership, 3,303,000 viewers, which is still low compared to if you consider the very first XFL, which had absolutely huge viewership. The very first of the original XFL had 14 million viewers and a 9.5 rating, so it didn't meet that, but it's still not a bad viewership. Apparently, Fox was expecting 4 million, but they were happy with a 3.3 million viewership. The St. Louis Battlehawks on Sunday beat the Dallas Renegades 15-9 in front of 17,206 fans, and that one had the lowest viewership of the 3 announced viewerships. 2,495,000 viewers. The Tampa Bay Vipers versus New York Guardians game, that had 17,634 fans in attendance, but for whatever reason, the ratings have not been released for that game yet. When I hear the viewership, I will let you know. Now, thinking about those figures, apparently, the AAF last year did not sell as many tickets for their total season than the XFL already has. And the NFL, when you're looking at the XFL viewership, the NFL had an average viewership of 16.5 million viewers per game last season. So we'll see what the XFL viewership is. Last time they started a lot higher and fell huge. So maybe they're not starting quite as high, and maybe they won't fall as bad. The AAF last year debuted at 2.9 million viewers, so lower than the XFL. And by the second week, they had already dropped to only about 1 million viewers. So the XFL is already doing better than that. Apparently in Seattle and St. Louis, they haven't had home games yet, even though they both played last week. They both played away games, but both Seattle and St. Louis have over 10,000 season ticket holders for each franchise. So that's a pretty good start. From what I understand, the XFL is not presenting themselves as better than the NFL this time around. They're instead presenting themselves as a feeder system for the CFL and the NFL. So good reports overall from the XFL for the first weekend. The games overall weren't as exciting as everyone would have liked. The Saturday games were apparently more exciting than the Sunday games, but they weren't bad. Very good reports overall from everything I've read about the weekends. I'll read some fan comments. Colonel Quayle, will XFL join the NFL and make football bigger than before? No. The XFL will be its own entity, supposedly for at least 3 years. Vince McMahon says he's in for the long haul. Now, if viewership nosedives and the shows get canceled, that's another thing. But we'll see. They have, hopefully they've learned from their mistakes. Richard M says the XFL look good. The NFL should use them as a feeder system since they're US based. I believe they are going to do that. Devious One says, I think people are more skeptical this time around. Colonel Quayle, bigger numbers in WWE shows. Yes, a lot bigger numbers in WWE shows. Devious One also says, hopefully we can get a Monday Night Wars type of thing going with XFL and NFL in the coming years. I don't think so. I think XFL is going to remain post NFL season. A lot of people believe that AEW, WWE's current competition, was started by an NFL franchise owner specifically because the NFL people were upset about WWE or Vince McMahon getting into the football business, and that one NFL franchise owner is worth a lot more than Vince McMahon is worth. So to go up against the NFL in direct competition would not be a good idea. Mala FE says, do I think Vince will sell the WWE if XFL takes off? Who knows? There's a lot of speculation that Vince might eventually sell the WWE because WWE is such a big company. It's not like Triple H, Shane, or Stephanie would run the entire company of WWE. If Vince were to pass, it would likely be an executive. So I'm not going to get too much into the wrestling talk. Someone was asking if I'll watch the LA Wildcats when I come to LA next month. Maybe I will. Maybe I will. Definitely. So we'll leave it at that. That's the XFL news for the day. I'll be back later on with the wrestling news after I get back from the gym, probably in 3 hours, 4 hours.